YouTube, welcome back to Guitar Vocalist. The channel is all about singing and playing guitar at the same time. Today I'm going to be back with a more guitar related video. I'm going to talk about basically 3 ways for you to sneak notes into your scales. And it's like a kind of sneaky way for you to just basically know very simple scales and just change one note, and suddenly you have a whole new scale and a whole new sound that you can work with. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. First I'm going to just start with the pentatonic scale that everybody knows. Maybe you just like jamming to AC/DC riffs, I don't know. It's like a very common scale, nothing wrong with it. You know, it's A pentatonic is like this. Simple, so you can play riffs that are like right, all of that is really common. It's a simple scale. Now if you add just one note to that, you actually have a minor blues scale, and that note is this one right here, and this is a D sharp, and these are the 2 places it's located. And once you add that, you basically have and actually suddenly all of those boring AC/DC riffs that became I don't mean to pick on AC/DC, but all these boring riffs, they just turn into something a little spicier, like this. You have that extra note in there, and suddenly you have a slightly different sound. It's a much spicier thing. If you're a beginner, if you're somebody that's, you know, starting out with those scales, it's a great way to just add an extra scale to your arsenal, just one note, and now you have the minor blues scale. The second scale I'm going to talk about is the harmonic minor. So here what you're doing is you're not adding a note, you're just changing a note. So if you have A minor, like this, right? So if you have that, you can do a lot of riffs like this. If you just take that G and you make it a G sharp, suddenly you have a more exotic sound to your pretty standard staple A minor scale. Check it out. This is minor. Now right, I just changed that one note and that's it, and suddenly it's, you know, a lot more exotic. Right? It's much more interesting. It sounds a little bit more Egyptian or like exotic or whatever. So it's really cool. But now you might be thinking, okay, well, come on, like, I'm not a beginner. I know pentatonic, I know minor blues, I know about harmonic minor. Well, actually, this one right here, this trick, will let you also move up from harmonic minor, alright? And you have what is then called the Byzantine scale, which is basically double harmonic. And the way that this works is you take not only this G, but you also take the D and you move it up to a D sharp. And then you have something like this. And then what you do is you have something a little bit more like this. Right, and it sounds a lot more exotic and interesting, and yeah, it's just basically another thing you can add to your arsenal, and all you have to do is just change the one note, you know? And it just sounds a lot more evil and just kind of interesting and out there, in my opinion anyway. I mean, it doesn't have to sound evil, but you know what I mean. It just sounds a lot more exotic and interesting. So anyway, try these out, give them a shot, see what you think, and until next time. And if you like what you heard, like and subscribe, post a comment, what's your favorite scale, and yeah, let me know. And until next time.